Hi everybody, and thanks for dropping in on our special edition. Today is all about Thailand versus artificial intelligence, and specifically talking about the program Chat GPT. Now, a lot of people talking about this at the moment, a lot of people using it. It's come in for criticism, it's come in for praise. Basically, it's a chat bot. Now, you've used these before when you've spoken to different companies, asked them how much things cost on Facebook. Most of the time, these aren't real people. These are just computer-generated answers based on the words and the keywords in your questions, and hopefully that it's able to give you answers. That's a chat bot. Now, this incarnation of Chat GPT is just the first. You can imagine this powerful AI software in another 2 or 3 years, how powerful it will become. Now, I'm not getting into conspiracy theories. I'm not even suggesting that this is in any way sentient, but it gives you the impression that there's a person at the other end responding. Now, just to give you an example, you can type in a question, or you might ask it to compare one thing to another, or you could ask it to write a 100-word poem, or you could ask it to write a 500-word essay about a particular topic. And almost instantly, well, it sort of writes it in almost real time, well, faster than real time. So within, say, 10 or 20 seconds, you'll have a completely cogent 500-word essay on any particular topic. Now, also needs to be said that it's not 100% accurate. Anything that happened before 2019, it usually says, look, I can't give you any up-to-date information on that because my knowledge level finishes about 2 years ago. So it's what, 4 years ago. So I thought I'd ask ChatGPT to talk a bit about Thailand. Given the cultural differences, given the quite different history, I thought it might be an interesting exercise to see exactly how ChatGPT can get things right, or perhaps wrong. Now, I should also say as I get started with this that I'm going to paste all this into an article. There'll be a link in the description of this video. So under this video, in the description on YouTube, there will be a link that you can click to read the full responses from ChatGPT. In some of these cases where I've asked it to give a 300-word essay about something, I'm not going to read the entire thing because, well, you'll be bored and I haven't got time. So I started by asking ChatGPT to write a limerick about Bangkok. A limerick is 5 lines. First and second line rhymes with the last line. That's the form. So here we go. In Bangkok, a city so bright, the streets are alive day and night. With temples and markets, so many new targets, your senses will take flight. Now, that's not necessarily a very good limerick, but that was generated by this computer, a very powerful computer indeed, almost instantly. And the thing is, it doesn't copy and paste these, it actually comes up with them. It uses all the knowledge that's out there on the internet, it analyzes it, and it computes it into an answer almost instantly. Now, if I asked it to do the same thing again, it'll come up with a different response. And you could say, write 5 limericks about Bangkok and they'll all be different. Again, it'll do them all almost instantly. So I went a little bit further culturally and I said, write a limerick about Bangkok bar girls. In Bangkok's bars, the girls are so swell, with charms that would put you under their spell. But beware, as you'll find, it's not all in the mind, for some come with a story to tell. Again, not brilliant, but it does rhyme, and it sort of hints at some of the sort of nuances about the bar girl scene. So I went into more serious topics, and I asked the question, what is a solution for the southern insurgency in Thailand? That's the civil war that's been raging for some 25 years down there on the border of Thailand and Malaysia. And it gave a very detailed answer. Again, you can read the entire essay that it wrote in the article that I've posted in the description on this video. But I'll just read you one paragraph. To find a solution for the conflict, some experts suggest the Thai government should address the underlying causes of the insurgency, such as economic and political discrimination against ethnic Malay Muslims, and respect the human rights of all citizens. Improving economic development in the region and providing more autonomy to the local government can also be a way to resolve the issue. So again, it hasn't copied and pasted that paragraph. It's actually analysed from all the articles that have been written about the southern insurgency and come up with its own version. Again, the link in the description has got the full iteration of these things I've asked it to do. Is Thailand addicted to military coups? The second paragraph says that while the frequency of coups in Thailand has been high, it's important to note that each coup has its own set of factors and reasons behind it, and each period of Thai history have its own backdrop and context. The reasons for coups have varied and include factors such as political corruption, economic inequality, and concerns about national security. So that's a little bit wordy and intellectualised, but it's basically correct. Let's go to another one, and I thought I'd give it a bit of a task to do with what I do. I said, come up with 5 humorous names for a daily online Thailand news program. And so it did. The Daily Wok, Thai Lightful News, Bangkok Bloopers, Phuket Headlines, and Chiang Mai News. Well, apart from the Daily Wok, probably nothing I'd use there, but again, it's come up with those, and if I asked it to come up with another 5, it would come up with another 5 instantly. Let's go to this one. Where is the best place to retire in Thailand? Now, it actually has a paragraph about how many places, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it finishes by saying, these are just a few examples of the many great places to retire in Thailand, and it's always recommended to visit the potential place and stay for some time before deciding to retire there. Sounds like exactly what I say when people ask me the same question. So it suggested Chiang Mai, Pattaya, Phuket, Hua Hin, and Chiang Rai. Again, an original piece of writing that I could just paste into an article and people would read it and think that a human has written that without any editing or changes to it whatsoever. Describe the Golden Triangle in 200 words, and it leads off with, the Golden Triangle is a region in Southeast Asia where the borders of Thailand, Laos and Myanmar meet. Historically, this region has been known as a major producer of opium and heroin, and more recently, of methamphetamine. And it goes on for, well, another 180 words or so. And as I've said 1,000 times, if you want to read the full list of these, the link is in the description underneath. So this one I thought, well, set to something a little bit more complex and creative. So I said, write a poem about Chiang Mai. And here we go. I'll read the whole thing. I'll put a few visuals with it to try and, or maybe some background music as well. Are you ready? Sit back and relax. Chiang Mai, a city of ancient charm, nestled in mountains, surrounded by calm, a place of tradition and culture, where ancient temples stand as a vulture. The streets are filled with markets and food, of paradise for travellers in mood. To explore, to taste, to discover, a city that will leave you in wonder. Now, some of this doesn't quite work, and you'd probably like to edit some of it, but this was just generated instantly when I asked it the question. Let's go on. The night bazaar, a sight to see, a vibrant market, wild and free, a place where the world comes together in harmony, in all kinds of weather. Chiang Mai, a city of beauty and grace, a place that you'll never want to leave this place. With its temples, its markets and people, it will leave you with memories that will steeple. Steeple? Anyway, you'd probably give that a C+ if you were an English student in, 10th grade or something? Write another funny limerick about Bangkok. I sort of was on a poetry bender here. So here we go. In Bangkok, where the heat was so scorching, a tourist was heard complain it's exhausting. But when asked what he'd do, he replied with a grin, I'll take a swim in the street, it's more exciting and less boring. Doesn't quite scan at the end there, but written instantly. And if I asked it to do another one, it would come up with something entirely different. So I'm not sure about you, but I find this particularly exciting. I don't know where it's going to end. Imagine if you're doing an exam and you had the availability of Chat GPT and the examiner said, write a 100-word essay about how fast Andromeda Galaxy is hurtling towards the Milky Way. You press the button, it would do it instantly, and the examiner literally wouldn't know that you didn't write it, unless you're a complete dunderhead and he had it figured out that somebody had written it for you. But this is the sort of thing I suppose people are going to have to watch out for, because you cannot tell that a human hasn't written this. Write a poem about Buddhism in Thailand. Buddhism in Thailand, a gentle light guiding the way through the darkest night, with temples and monks a serene sight, bringing peace and balance that feels just right. The sound of the chanting, a soothing hum, a reminder of the impermanence to come, to let go of desire, to overcome, to reach nirvana like the rising sun. And there's another 12 lines in that particular poem. I should note, by the way, that everything's spelt in American English. So if you're pedantic about Oxford English spelling, then just be aware that it spits it out in American English. Explain Thai history in 100 words. Now that's a pretty mean feat, but again, it did it like that. Thailand has a rich history dating back to the 13th century. The country was originally known as Siam and ruled by a monarchy. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, Siam came into contact with Western powers and underwent modernisation. During World War II, Thailand allied itself with Japan, but later switched sides to the Allies. The country became a constitutional monarchy in 1932, but has experienced periods of military rule. In recent years, Thailand has become a popular tourist destination known for its beaches, temples, and delicious food. Well, you can't argue with any of that. It's both correct and it's succinct. Now, how long would it take a person, even a good writer, to write Thailand's history in 100 words? I haven't actually done a complete word count, but I dare say it is probably 100 words. Here's an interesting one. I said, describe the taste of durian. I won't read the whole lot out, but I'll read maybe the last paragraph. Durian is also known for its high levels of fat and its strong smell, which can be overwhelming for some people. For those who can get past the smell, the taste can be quite addictive, and many people consider it a delicacy. So it actually understands that some people don't like durian and some do, and the way that people can enjoy the many sensations from the durian fruit. What's the best way to get from BKK to the Chao Phraya River? And it already figured out that BKK, of course, is referring to Suvarnabhumi Airport. And it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ideas, and it talks about taxis, airport rail link, public bus, private car service and private airport transfer services. So again, it sort of gets it fairly right. Write lyrics to a song about Phuket. Here we go. White sandy beaches, crystal clear water, a tropic paradise like no other, palm trees swaying in the breeze. Phuket, oh Phuket, you bring peace. And then the chorus, Phuket, Phuket, where the sun shines bright. Phuket, Phuket, such a sight, a place to unwind and let go. Phuket, Phuket, we love you so. And on it goes for another few stanzas. That wasn't great. But we then said, write a humorous limerick about Pattaya. Not sure why I was so obsessed about limericks, but here we go. In Pattaya, where the tourists do flock, a ladyboy beach, where the men, they do mock. I was worried there for a moment too. But the joke's on them, because the girls are so sweet, and they're happy to show them a different kind of treat. So there, that really hits on the cultural nuances and gets it quite right. How long would it take to ride in a tuk-tuk from Don Muang Airport to Pattaya if there wasn't any traffic? That's the question I put to Chat GPT. And it said it would take approximately 2 hours to ride in a tuk-tuk from Don Muang to Pattaya under normal traffic conditions. However, traffic in Bangkok and the surrounding areas can be unpredictable and heavy at times. And then it says it's highly recommended to take a car or a taxi service, which are more comfortable, reliable, and faster than tuk-tuks. So pretty good advice there. Write me a 300-word article about tips to avoid dengue fever in Thailand. Well, not only did it spit it out in 3 or 4 seconds, I then copied that and pasted it into an article and posted it on a website. And there's a link to that in the description as well. No one's going to know whether I wrote it, another writer wrote it, or artificial intelligence wrote it. What does that mean? Okay, so it gave some good advice. Write me a 100-word article about Pattaya in the style of Shakespeare. Pattaya, a city of great renown, a tropical paradise on the shore bound, where sandy beaches, crystal clear sea, attracts visitors from near and far aplenty. A place to let loose or simply unwind, Pattaya's beauty and fun one shall find. But take heed, as with all things grand, to always be safe and to use a steady hand. Not sure about that last line, but anyway, sort of in the style of Shakespeare. But I went a bit further and I said, write me a 100-word article about Chiang Mai in the style of Dr. Seuss. In Chiang Mai, the city that's oh so sweet, with temples and markets that can't be beat, the mountains and jungles, they tower above, a natural wonder to see and to love. It's a city of culture, a city of art, with festivals and events, a joy to partake. That didn't quite work. So come, take a visit to Chiang Mai land, where adventure and culture go hand in hand. Well, it had the rhythm of a Dr. Seuss poem, but it didn't necessarily have the fun. So how about this one? I said, write a 100-word funny story about a HAL 9000 computer and a ladyboy in Thailand. Now, if you can't remember, the HAL 9000 computer is the computer, the AI, artificial intelligence computer, that goes awry in 2000: A Space Odyssey, which was back in 1968. I'll read the whole thing to you because it's quite interesting. Once upon a time, in a small village in Thailand, a HAL 9000 computer was installed at the local market. The computer was programmed to assist customers with their shopping and answer any questions they had. One day, a ladyboy named Lulu came to the market and approached the HAL 9000. "Hello, HAL 9000, I need help finding a dress that will make me look like a lady," said Lulu. The HAL 9000, being a computer, didn't understand the concept of gender and replied, "I'm sorry, Lulu, I can only assist you in finding a dress that fits your body measurements." Lulu laughed, "I mean a dress that will make me look more feminine." "HAL 9000, you're such a stickler for details." The HAL 9000, still not understanding, responded, "I apologise, Lulu, I'm not capable of assessing one's appearance or providing fashion advice." Lulu, still laughing, "Don't worry, HAL 9000, you're good with numbers and maths, stick to that," and walked away looking for a dress in the market. So, not a particularly good story, and you'd probably get a C+ if you were in the 6th grade for that story. But again, it was generated instantly by artificial intelligence. I don't know where all this is going to go, but it's something that I'm going to follow quite closely because it is very interesting to see the way that people will try and use this and apply it to different industries. And this is just the first version of Chat GPT. It's operated by a company called OpenAI. You can Google it and find out more about it. It's the fastest growing tech company in the world. I think it's just been valued at about $200 billion, and it's only been around for a number of months. So check out Chat GPT. I think there's a lot of ethical questions to be asked. Some of the questions haven't even been asked yet, and I think we'll just understand more about it in the coming months and years as this technology develops and people start using it in ways we haven't even considered yet. But thank you for dropping in on our little special edition of TNT. And of course, we're back Monday to Friday with all the news from around Thailand. If you get an opportunity, subscribe to the channel, and we do look forward to seeing you next time.